Hello, and you are listening to FPcast, the podcast for fruitless pursuits where we bullshit about the week in pop culture. I'm Luke.
And I'm Jacinta.
And this week we are talking about...
Movies, television, collectibles, video games, comics, books, board games, and more. XXX.
Boom Chicka Wow Wow. A very sexy special episode where we
So exy.
look into the world of Triple X. How disappointed a lot of teenagers going to be. Well, probably not, actually.
Oh, yeah, I actually had to look up something before the movie, and I was very wary about typing XXX into my...
Did you have your safe search on?
My phone browser. No, I didn't, but thankfully I did find the information that I was requiring.
At least you didn't type in XXX Vin Diesel.
Oh, gross. Imagine.
That could have been a very...
That would have ruined my weekend.
Chodorific, I imagine. He's a big old chode, isn't he?
He's a lumpy fella. He's a bit like... You know how they've been talking, like, the last couple of years about how, like, the Hollywood body standards have changed for men as well, and how back in the older days, like with Schwarzenegger and something, they were muscular, but they were kind of like fat muscular, and now they're all lean and ripped. Like, he's really getting back to that vintage of fat muscular.
And he's supposed to be sexy. Everybody's supposed to be just like, oh my god, Xander Cage, whoa.
Oh, my panties are just falling off in your presence.
Don't
He's
go
repellent.
chasing waterfalls in my pants right now.
He's so gross.
But he's like,
gross.
you notice all the shots where he's close with the lady, he's in profile. And it's this like big bald head with this roll of flesh at the back, and he just looks like a penis, but like a sort of chody one. And just this, like, leering penis. It feels like a trauma film for a moment, you know? It's like I'm watching some sort of Japanese, twisted Tokyo Gore Police kind of latex character. But no, it's just Vin Diesel.
It's just his head.
All the ladies want him. We're going to talk a lot more about Vin Diesel. Not a lot of news, not even a lot of new trailer stuff, but... I feel like what we have to talk about with the movies, because we were going to see, and I think we might have even said we were going to see Manchester by the Sea. But look, what a crazy week. Everything's just crazy. I went back to work. Donald Trump became president. Horrible things happened in Australia. And it was just like, let's watch something dumb.
Yeah, the idea of seeing Manchester by the Sea, which, look, I mean, I haven't seen it.
We're going to see it.
We're going to see it eventually anyway, and, like, it's a movie that I feel like, even though it's probably going to be really well made and all that kind of stuff, it's going to make me feel like shit. And I kind of don't want to necessarily go to the cinema on a Saturday morning and feel like shit.
Also, you the listener, you the loyal listener that comes back week after week.
Not that you don't review the show, but you come back week after week.
You come back week after week, and you want to be entertained. We haven't done that yet.
No.
This is episode 173.
Yeah.
And you think, are they going to be more entertained by us talking about Manchester by the Sea, starring alleged sex pest Casey Affleck?
Yeah.
Or...
Chody Vinny.
Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage, starring confirmed sex pest Vin Diesel. I'm kidding. He's not really a sex... Well, he's not. No. Mildly.
I mean, he looks like one, and that's enough for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like... Wasn't there that thing with the reporter on his press tour? And he was just like, oh, God, you're so beautiful. Let's stop this. Let's go have lunch. I can't concentrate and stuff. And she was really uncomfortable and not interested in his advances. And that's the funny thing about Vin Diesel, and what makes this movie weird for me, is that you feel like he believes he is Xander Cage. That he believes, like, this is a reality series or something. And that this power he has over women extends into real life.
Yeah. Where women have other choices of men.
Yeah.
Like if he was
especially attractive women, confident working women like the person that he was speaking to, doesn't necessarily need Xander Cage to come in and rescue her from her
I feel like
mundane
even
existence.
if Vin Diesel was the last person on Earth, I'd probably have to have a bit of a think about it.
At least a bit of a drink about it, I would think.
Or about 20 drinks.
20 is not enough drinks.
No, that's right.
You notice in the film he was on the cranberry.
Yes, he was not drinking alcohol at all.
Cranberry's an interesting choice.
Yeah. Well, look, I mean, he leads an active lifestyle.
Yeah.
And there's always mishaps.
Yeah.
With that kind of activity. And look, he's just being cautious. Or maybe he's just being, preventative.
Could be.
Yeah, it's a preventative cause.
Absolutely. Yeah. Anyway, so much to talk about.
We're just spilling out into everywhere else.
But let's get to a little bit of news before we do that. Big announcement this week.
Yeah.
Anything else is just not worth talking about. So this is the one news item I've got on the list. Patrick Stewart is a piece of shit.
It's the role of his career, really.
Sir Patrick is a sir.
Yeah.
Yes, Sir Patrick Stewart. Where everyone's like, it can do no wrong. What a guy. He's immortal. What an amazing thespian. Screen and stage.
Absolutely.
Shakespeare, everything. Has decided that emoticon movie that you're all willing to make fun of or whatever and claim looks like the biggest piece of shit ever, he is willing to spend his time playing the biggest piece of shit ever. The coveted role. I mean, when you look at all those emojis and you think, which one am I going to go for? I could be this guy, I could be this guy, I could be the cat. He's going to be the piece of shit.
Like, I feel like maybe he kind of just doesn't care anymore. Like, as far as his actual movie career goes, I feel like he's just not really that bothered. Because he's been kind of saying that he's not really that into X-Men anymore. And he's just going, you know what? They want me to be a piece of shit? I'll be a piece of shit. Doesn't matter.
What I like about it, and it's not to say anything bad about Sir Patrick, I'm only teasing there, but it's more of an indicative thing about Hollywood in general and just the reality of that business. It's funny because audiences, fans, people online will argue back and forth about the integrity of things, and this director has integrity, this actor has integrity, this person doesn't. It's funny how people will band behind certain directors. Oh, Christopher Nolan can do no wrong, and but Zack Snyder's a piece of shit, and Michael Bay's a piece of shit, and Shia LaBeouf's a piece of shit, but this person's great, and this, Shia LaBeouf, regardless of what you think of him, probably has more integrity than so many people in terms of actually what he's choosing to do at the moment, and the way that he throws himself into those roles.
Yes.
What, got 16 tattoos or something for American Honey?
Yeah.
Real tattoos.
Yeah, I'm not shocked by that at all.
Knocks out his teeth and stuff. Didn't he knock out a tooth or something for Fury? Lots of crazy things.
I don't know.
Yeah, like nobody has any integrity. Like, you can sit there going, oh, this film's an abortion, I'm not going to go see that, what a horrible idea. He's like, I'll do it. I'll be the piece of shit if you want me to do that. That's great. Just makes everything kind of...
Yeah,
like, where do we go from here?
There's something that just makes me so curious about whoever is pitching these parts to these actors. Because it's not like Patrick Stewart's agent went, I've been hearing the rumours of this movie that I think you'll be great for. But no, there's people like sending scripts of the Emoji Movie to Patrick Stewart saying, would you like to play the piece of shit? Like, that's some bravery.
I can imagine the pitch, though, because obviously, like, doesn't he have a bow tie or something?
No, I don't think so.
But the character in the movie, I thought maybe. But this idea of them going, now, you're a piece of shit, but... The thing is, the twist, what makes it funny is, although he's a piece of stinky shit, he's actually, like, really well-spoken and
very
smart and refined.
Okay.
So although he's full of roughage, he's so refined, and although he's got, like, lots of lumps and, like, chunky bits in it, he's actually smooth when it comes to the way he talks. He's actually the smoothest, smartest guy here. That is gonna blow everybody's minds. And Patrick Stewart's had a little bit of a chuckle and gone, yeah, I'll do it. I'm the piece of shit that you need to get in on this.
I wonder if maybe he lost a bet with Ian McKellen.
I don't know if... I know those two are friends.
Yes.
I wonder if either of them has ever used an emoticon as a form of communication.
Oh, I think so. I think one of them... But yeah, I think Patrick Stewart has, like, Twitter or Snapchat or something, and yeah, I think he has.
He's a fan. Well, then...
I think he has used emoticons in the past.
Then our mystery solved. He's a fan. He loves it.
Yeah.
But if...
Maybe poop was his favourite, and he would only come on board if he could play poop.
If Ian McKellen is not just texting him the shit emoji...
just filling up his inbox with shit emoji.
On the hour.
Yeah.
I'll be really disappointed. Meh and shit, two of my favourite characters. Cannot wait for that one.
Yeah.
Because, look, everybody loves emojis. They're such a huge part of our modern lives.
They're modern hieroglyphics.
Yeah. Yeah. If I don't have my phone with me, like if it's somewhere where I can't take a phone, because you can't always, I will have a bunch of paper plates and will draw emojis on them so I can hold them up like Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, I go and buy those. You know how you go to like Red Dot or whatever and they have the emoji pillows?
Yeah.
Plushy emojis. I just carry around a really big bag.
With a lot of them, and then you just bring out the ones you need.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I'm kind of a bit DIY, sort of straight edge, old school about the whole thing. But I think it's really important because there's just a lot of nuance there. There's a lot of things that are very difficult to get across with the English language, which Americans have been proving for a long time now is very overrated and could do with an edit, to be honest. Do we need all that stuff in there? Do we need all those letters? Do we need all these suffixes and prefixes and things like that? Don't know if we do. And I think now that we're living in Trump's America, and it's official now, we're recording, he's been sworn in.
Yeah,
so,
mere hours ago.
We've been very anti-Trump, we've made a lot of fun of Trump, but the thing is, now that he's been sworn in, he's our president, whether you like it or not. So he's not our president. He's our president, Jacinta. So America is the hub of the world, and the American president is
the ruler of the free world.
As Olympus has fallen, London has fallen. All those movies have taught us. Independence Day. The American president is, he's the alpha.
Yes.
And you look at Trump. You look at this man. You look at. His style, his charisma.
Such charisma.
You go, well, that's my guy now. And I think, look, let's grow up. Let's embrace it. And let's see what we can get out of these 4 years. Because I have a feeling this shifty businessman is very much all about the people and looking after the people and the little one.
Yeah. Yeah, he's definitely going to look after all those middle Americans that voted for. He's absolutely, there is nothing bad that is going to happen to those people that voted for him.
A lot of big businessmen.
I sure hope they never get sick, though.
Got that way because they really care about the little guy.
Yeah.
And
I hear he's really good at looking after money, too.
I just think as long as like anyone, I'm willing to work an 18-hour day if I've got a bowl of rice to eat at the end of it.
Exactly. You can't ask for more than that.
What else am I going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking podcast that no one listens to? Crazy. Anyway, Patrick Stewart is a piece of shit. Yeah.
That's it, yep.
He'll probably get at least a Golden Globe for that.
Yeah, of course he would. Yeah, did you hear? It's not actually on our sheet, but there's that movie, The Dog's Purpose?
Yes.
Have you seen the trailer for that one?
No.
Oh, it's about a dog that gets, reincarnated through all these different dogs until I think it can find its way back to its original boy that it loved when it was alive the first time or whatever, and it's come under fire this week because some footage has come out of them filming, and there's a bit where a dog is swimming through a river or whatever, and they'd rigged up this kind of fake rapids, and they basically just dropped a German Shepherd in there and just made it swim up this thing, and it was going under, and they were panicking and dragging it out and stuff, and it looks like I read this morning that the distribution company is pulling the premiere because the backlash has been so huge over people watching this footage of this dog nearly drowning.
Because they're shooting it Milo and Otis style.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were like. It's it's not the fucking 80s anymore. You can use CGI. Get Andy Serkis in there. He can be the dog.
He'll do it. Because what people don't know about Milo and Otis is they had a rather large van just full of pugs and cats. And there'd be a runner who would just go to the van and get a new one every time something went wrong.
Yeah, because like, I wonder how they did the bit with like the kitten on the train tracks. Well,
how did they do that bit where the dog jumped over the cliff? Why did the dog look a little bit different in the scene
the next time we
afterwards?
see it,
That's why. Very sad. Let's not talk about that too much. But then, sometimes these rumours, because that's one of those rumours that almost becomes sort of urban legend, sometimes they turn out to be okay. Do you remember I got those trading cards, which are kittens, Japanese, like, kittens in little suits and clothing and stuff, acting out street scenes and things with little speech bubbles. Love it. Absolutely love it. But then there was this story that, no, they are taxidermied kittens. That's why they're in these adorable poses and interacting with each other. And I was like, oh, fuck. And then, like, they was like, oh, that's kind of gross. But turns out, no, it was a Japanese artist, and he does that thing where, and you can tell once you know, their little bodies are little stuffed animal bodies, and it's just their heads are looped through the clothing, and he's got a lot of patience, and he gets it done right. So
you can tell if an animal is taxidermy by looking at their face. Like, the face is always a bit off if it's not alive.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell.
What about, like, an eagle or something? Like, how would you know that? They don't have expressions.
But the eyes are different because they pop out. Have you seen... I went down this weird YouTube rabbit hole of watching taxidermy videos.
I saw a reality show about master taxidermists.
Yeah, like, the way it's done is not the way that I thought it was done at all.
No, because it's really just the
It's
pelt.
just the skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they basically skin the animal, put it over, like, a big foam...
or plastic like,
block thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
and replace if the mouth is open, then they replace the inside of the mouth with like a plastic thing, and the eyes are glass.
Yeah.
I think the eyes, you can't replicate a real
I always thought it was
accurately,
this
so
magic, non-decomposing...
Yes! I always thought they just like stuffed the insides with something
like
I don't know.
And did a ritual.
Yeah.
To stop it all from smelling.
Put that like desiccant stuff that's in your like shoe boxes. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, they get like, even someone was on this show was doing a lion. So they got like this big plastic lion all pre-posed and everything that they spent fuckloads of money on, and then just put the skin around it.
Yeah.
So it's all a lot of gubbins.
Yeah, because
taxidermy.
Like, you hear people talk, I want to get my dog stuffed or whatever, and it's like, no, you don't. You don't want them to skin your dog, and they go, oh no, that's awful. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. That's why I just put it in the freezer. Put a couple of lean cuisines over the top.
I do have a story like that, but not for this podcast.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about trailers quickly. There's a new Power Rangers trailer which finally shows a Power Ranger briefly. As we said before, this is directed by a guy that I know of from uni. Perth guy. He's got some pretty big toys to play with.
Yes, he does.
Definitely a big budget kind of crazy thing for him. I don't know. I'm not into it.
I don't know. I think the trailer looks kind of fun. Like, It
was a better trailer, but I think it was like, here's all the money shots from the end to kind of appease you from the fact that, really, I'd be very surprised if 2/3 of that film isn't just teenagers in the woods or in bedrooms talking about things.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm not, like, super psyched for the Power Rangers, but that trailer does nothing to significantly turn me off.
And talking about, like, playing a big piece of shit, Bryan Cranston's playing their head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got our first look at Elizabeth Banks as Rita.
Oh, she was in the other trailer,
was
but very
she?
briefly, yeah.
Oh, okay.
We got our first look at Goldar, who was very gold. It's funny because, like, you go, I don't want to watch just the sort of low-budget Fantastic Four-looking teenagers talking. And then you go, oh, look, okay, finally, the big robot fighting stuff. But then that's the stuff that everybody hates in films. Like, everybody complains about Transformers, everybody complains about the end of Batman versus Superman, etc. It's like... So it's this mixed message of, what's this shit? We want to see the big creatures fighting, and then it's like, the bit where the big creatures fought is always, like, the worst part of the film.
Yeah, they're like, oh, there's not enough character development. It was just all big creatures fighting. It's like, that's what you fucking asked for.
did. But I'm the wrong age. Like, I don't have an attachment to Power Rangers.
I love the Power Rangers TV series. Like, over Christmas, I was going through all the Christmas stuff on Netflix, and there was a Power Rangers Christmas special. I was like, fuck yeah.
I watched one peripherally after you'd said that.
Yeah.
But it's just so... I mean, yeah, it's just so camp. And I don't know... It's one of those things, and maybe because of the age that I watched it, I've never really been able to pass whether I'm in on the joke or not. Like, how serious... Like, is it supposed to be good? Is it deliberately bad? Is it, like... It feels deliberately bad to me.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
Like, do they think it's good? Or, like, I don't get it.
Yeah, it is a tricky one. Like, no one's watching this show going, oh, it's really great. But then, like, I think I was 10 maybe when the first series came out, so I really was right in that kind of demographic, and I carry a lot of those memories forward. And so if I see it on TV now, even if it's the new, fucking pirate ones or ninja ones or whatever, I still watch it with that same kind of joy that I watched when I was 10. Even though it is exactly the same show as it was 20 years ago, and there's something about that I kind of like.
It's just a weird thing as well, I guess, because of its origins of being half of a sort of Japanese thing and half of an American thing, two things that haven't really meshed particularly well. And then, I guess, did it all happen because of Ninja Turtles' success? I know it happened sort of a couple of years after that, and I feel like it was mining those, well, what else have we got that we can... Has that sort of everybody jumping around and kicking? Because when you look at those, people in the foam costumes, roundhouse kicking each other, there's certainly a Ninja Turtle-esque kind of vibe. The other trailer I want to talk about, and this is because I only just saw it. It's not a new trailer, but we saw it at the movies today. The Fate of the Furious, the Fast and the Furious 8.
Yep.
Which people who listen know that we've had to do a bit of a deal, you and I. So I don't like Fast and the Furious at all, but I'm going to see that.
Yeah, because I don't like Transformers at all.
I don't either, really, but
I'm
I still want to see
that.
it. So you'll see that. And the whole crux of this trailer is, Vin Diesel's gone bad.
He's gone rogue. He's betrayed the family, which you don't do in the Fast and Furious universe.
And the word family, even flashes up on the screen. It comes up a billion times, as you'd expect. It doesn't take a genius to look at Charlize Theron's bad guy character and realise that she has manipulated Dom or put him into a situation where he's not really gone bad, but he has to follow whatever she wants to do for a while until he can turn the tables.
Yeah, I bet it's like, she's like, oh, I'm going to kill Brian's family.
Yeah, I'm going to do something unless you do this. And he's like, well, I'll go along with it until this point, and then I'm going to,
turn back good, rejoin the family.
So it doesn't take a genius to work that out, which is okay, because I don't think many geniuses are actually going to go and see the film. So I think, that'll be under wraps. What I wanted to talk about it for was because when the trailer did come out a few weeks ago, I never watched it because I wasn't interested, but it was in the Facebook feed. So I read some of the comments. And when I watched the Chips trailer, which we talked about last week, I also I saw it on YouTube, and on Facebook, and I saw some of the comments. And this was when, I think in both cases, where the distributor has got, like, it was Roadshow with Chips, has gone, here's the trailer, and put it up on their official account, and then there's the comment section. And what I realised is there's this whole new world that we haven't been discussing or even thinking about. And don't you dare close your eyes. I've got to say that every time you say a whole new world. Because we often, like, I get my news from geek sites and stuff like that, and we're around geek discussions online, which is a very, very hypercritical negative. That looks like shit. This is going to be the worst thing. This is going to ruin my childhood. This is going to this. Then you see that mainstream just Facebook response to things, and people are not only just loving everything and totally uncritical about everything, but are really hyper sold by whatever premise. Like, so on that Fast and the Furious one, people are like, I can't believe Dom's betraying the family. I just can't believe Dom would do that. I thought the family was really important. I can't wait to see this and to see why Dom would do that. And billions of people just like, Oh my god!
Because people are very invested in the Fast and Furious franchise.
No, but they do this for everything. Because, like, would you say the same for... You're not going to, in a second, say to me, but Luke, people are very invested in chips. Yeah, the salty variety, sure. But not the old TV show. And people are like, oh, this looks so funny. And they're tagging their friends and going... We have to go and see this when it comes out,
they're not like discussing plot points and what, you know, the greater narrative of the movie. They're just saying they want to see it.
That's because there wasn't a greater narrative in that particular trailer. But they're just like, oh, this would probably be my favourite movie of this year and stuff like just stuff that is so the opposite. And it goes to show, like, when you talk about echo chambers and things like that, just how our perception of how something's being received and what it is and how people feel about an issue or even then going into taking that same thing into politics or whatever is really so narrow. It's just this little room we've created around ourselves. And then you go, oh, there's these other people that are just like, oh, I love this. And these people that are really, after reading their comments about Fate of the Furious, I'm like, can we get this movie out any sooner? Because these people are really anxious about what Dom has done to the family. And if we can do anything to get them feeling a little bit better about it, and they're not going to listen to this where we described, it's okay, it's just, he's doing this for a reason, guys. He's not really turning his back on the family. It's not like Paul leaves and everything just goes to shit. It's okay. But yeah, I've just realised there's this whole other side which is too far in the other direction. It's like, where's the middle ground? These people are just like, oh my god, like, this looks excellent. And I just can't wait to see how this formulaic story plays out for the 8th time.
That's what the distributors want, because these are the people that are going to be buying tickets to the movies.
Well,
they want them in that echo chamber where they're going, this is great, tag all your friends.
Well, the Chips one, the roadshow responded to, like, every positive thing. Glad you're looking forward to it. We can't wait for you to see what we've got in store, kind of thing. You like that joke where the dick's in his face that happens 3 times in the trailer? There's a 4th, at least. But you'll have to wait and see. Going to be lots of dicks in faces when Chips comes out. Chips should be called Tips because the tip of what's his name? Dax Shepard. I was going to say Dexter Fletcher from Press Gang. He'll be in it too.
He's going to be in Michael Pena's face the whole time.
Bring some moist towelettes because there's going to be a lot of penis. Lots of guys in...
Peeny.
Michael Pena is going to have a lot of penis on his lips for Chips. So that's the state of movies at the moment. And that's
it's a quiet period.
That's why we dedicate an hour at least of our week talking about them.
Yeah, we are. Like, a lot of people have been complaining, obviously, like a lot of the Facebook groups and stuff, saying, oh, this period of the year, there's nothing coming out. We're actually pretty lucky here because I think it's a bit of a barren wasteland in America and stuff, but we get all the Oscar movies.
True.
This is like January is when all those Oscar movies that we didn't get at the end of last year come out, so we don't really have that much of an off period. Maybe Feb.
We do have good stuff to watch.
Feb and March is usually the less good period, but even this year we're getting Beauty and the Beast in March, I think.
Yep.
Obviously 50 Shades Darker is in February, so that's just an absolute blockbuster that we can't wait for. So I just don't think we're getting an off period this year.
No.
Very exciting.
Well, if today's episode proves anything, I mean, Xander Cage returned.
I know.
From retirement.
I know.
Can you believe that?
It's just crazy, and we couldn't...
He did it for the people.
We couldn't wait. I mean, we've been waiting since, 2002?
Yeah, full disclosure, we've only just figured that out.
We had no idea. We've never seen a XXX movie before, so we're just like, why the fuck did this stuff happen? And having to Google it.
I thought it was his 3rd movie.
Yeah.
I didn't realise Ice Cube had done a movie in the middle.
Yeah.
So it really is the return of Xander Cage.
Yeah, he's only done like one XXX movie before.
I thought it was like Batman Returns, where it's like he just returned from the video shop or something, like at the beginning of the film.
He returned from the first movie.
Yeah.
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 But no, he went away, and maybe like they all thought he was dead. But no, he's not dead.
You can't kill that guy.
He was just hanging out in a shanty town.
Sure was. Doing extreme stunts. So let's review that thing. I just want to say that I'll do a brief review afterwards of Edge of 17. So if you need a palate cleanser after XXX, I did get to see Edge of 17 last Saturday night, actually. So just after we'd recorded the podcast in the day. So I didn't get to talk about it in last week's show, but I will talk about that. So there is something good at the end of it. We couldn't help but talk about this a little bit in the car because there's a lot to talk about. There's going to be some minor spoilers, but that's not what this film is about. We won't spoil any of the big reveals or anything.
No. Even though I don't think we realised that were big reveals at the time.
Yeah. But what did you think? How would you sum this thing up?
Gosh, I'm really not sure. So this is obviously the Return of Xander Cage. There's is it the NSA are looking for this device that's been bringing down their satellites.
In a quite spectacular fashion too.
Yeah. And they get Xander in to find it. He assembles a team and then they go and find it.
And you've got two teams. Xander's team he puts together is Ruby Rose. And
Chris Wu,
who's who is he in real life?
He was in a Korean boy band, but he left that to be an actor, so he's just a Chinese actor guy.
He's not acting. He's got...
No, he's literally his special power in this movie is being a DJ. He doesn't do anything. No,
and he strikes me as that sort of person that is... And I've been watching Jersey Shore as well, but they have more character than this guy does. He's got big earrings. He's got the fade with the lines cut into it, and it's that's my character. Because I'm kind of cool. I don't have to have any depth. Because I've got this look, and people would find me desirable and think that my music and everything is cool. I don't have to have a personality. I'm not going to say anything except for yeah, bro.
Yeah,
I've got it.
He asked someone asked him what he could do or something. He's like, I don't have to do anything. I'm a baller. And I'm like,
yeah.
No, you're not.
And there are people that are like that. That it's well, what's your deal? Man, I'm a baller. And it's well...
And literally, they come up with little, title cards for everyone. Because they're assuming that, it's been over 10 years since the last movie came
15 years since the first XXX.
Yeah, so they're assuming that you've kind of forgotten everything. So they bring up little title cards with everybody. And he's, literally, his special skill on his title card is... He's a lot of fun to be around.
Yeah.
That's it. That's his whole thing. And I'm like, oh, this is not boding well for you doing any actual acting, Chris Wu.
So people, and especially young ladies, don't be fooled by these guys that are all style and no substance. There's nothing there. You'd be better off with a chubby 40-year-old who can articulate himself very well and has some pretty badass tattoos as well. I'm just saying. But, so that's nonsense. So, and then there's Nina Dobrev.
Yeah, from Vampire Diaries. And
from Degrassi, yeah. If you want to see some photos of her hanging out with Wheelchair Drake, you don't have to go far on the Google search.
Yeah.
And she's the nerd tech person, sort of a kind of Q, but...
Yeah.
Nerd she's not a nerd at all.
No,
they've just put glasses on her, and she's I'm an awkward nerd, and she totally wants to fuck Xander Cage because why wouldn't you?
Oh, he's just so deliciously irresistible. No one can resist
and her
him.
Costume and performance very much looks like she's in a porn film. She's the nerd in a porn film. Yeah. You totally are getting confused because you're why is she still dressed? Because all the cues in terms of the way this thing is shot and the way that she's performing make you believe that something else is going to happen. Did I say Ruby Rose?
Yeah. Yes.
Well, we didn't really talk about it. So Ruby Rose, Australian.
She was actually quite... she didn't have a lot to kind of act.
Nobody does. This script has to be 6 pages of dialogue.
Yeah. So she's playing an Australian character, so no, accent work or anything that she has to do. She's like a sniper. She's very good at shooting guns.
I love the fact there's no reference to her being Australian. There's no jokes about kangaroos or anything like that. There's no put another shrimp. She's just Australian.
Well, actually, I've got to say, the one thing I did really like about this movie is that all of that main team, very diverse. There's a lot of diversity there. Ruby Rose, an Australian lesbian. There's a bunch of, Chinese guys. There's Indian lady.
Chinese funding, though.
Yeah, there was Chinese funding. That's why Chris Wu got in. They have all these Korean, Chinese Korean pop stars that are in, Lu Han is in the Great Wall movie for the same reason. Yeah, there's just a lot of diversity going on there, which was very, very cool. Even if it wasn't the smartest movie, that's a decent takeaway from it.
But that's where it's funny, because you've got this diverse main cast, but then every other female character is in a bikini or dressed like they're on the Jersey Shore, and is just, and it's just nothing. When all the guys are just military or, mercenaries. So there's this, sort of diversity at the centre, but not really. I actually had this interesting reverse thing happen where Ruby Rose, normally you get Americans writing Australian dialogue, or what they think is Australian dialogue, and everyone's like bloody and mate and you beaut and stuff, and it just feels really false and forced. I actually think she was given a lot of American dialogue, and it sounded really funny coming from her. One of her lines is, of course, "Oh, hell no." But she goes, "Oh, hell no." And it's the most underplayed I've ever heard that phrase in a movie ever. It's just an Australian isn't going to say that in the same way. So she's just like, "Oh, hell no." Just it's like you or I saying it. It's kind of nutty. And Rory McCann.
The Hound.
Who just...
he had nothing to do, but
just
he
drives a car.
He managed to put more character into his character than any of the others.
And they're going up...
I feel like I knew a lot more about him as a person than I did for any of the others.
He's more comic relief. And then the other team that they're sort of up against is Donnie Yen.
Who is the shining, bright, delightful star in this movie.
Always comes to life when he's on the screen. And Tony Jaa? Yeah?
From The Raid?
Jaa? Yeah.
That's the guy?
I think so.
I think he's from The Raid. He looked really familiar.
Sorry, we are going to butcher some of these names. I apologise for that. And I know that if you're a fan of any of these particular types of cinema, then that's probably annoying. And the Indian lady... Deepika? I'm trying to remember. It is Deepika
Deepika Padukone. Padukone?
I don't know.
Padukone? Padukone? I don't know.
I don't know.
Not sure
how that would be done. But, so it is a nice, diverse cast. It's weird because Donnie Yen is so good.
And he's super charismatic, which is hilarious in a movie where Vin Diesel is meant to be charismatic and Donnie Yen is just pissing all over him.
The other weird thing is, when I'm watching Avengers or something and I'm seeing the group of people, I don't for a second... I'm watching a fantasy movie. I'm not sort of expecting any of these cast members to have any actual skills. I know that they train and they sort of do certain things. I also think it's funny, you're talking about body types before. I think it's such a fucking rough deal that someone like Chris Pratt had to lose all that weight to do his 2-second shirtless scene.
Yeah. And it's not like Star-Lord's not athletic.
No, and it doesn't matter. He's got jet boots and guns and he wears a big coat. Let the guy eat something. But, I'm not expecting those people to be... It's fantasy. And then even when I watch something like Rogue One... You've got Donnie Yen, who is the real deal. He can do things. And they allow him to do things. But there's nothing that Felicity Jones does in that film that I really think, well, Felicity Jones couldn't actually do that in real life. She shoots a gun and she climbs things and stuff like that. Same with Cassian. Same, everybody looks like... But Donnie Yen is on another level.
Yeah.
But it's weird when Donnie Yen is being put up against Vin Diesel, because I watch this and I think, but what can Vin Diesel do?
That even comes close to Donnie Yen.
Yeah, and isn't everything he's doing in this film just completely and utterly fake?
There's a bunch of stupid, dumb, stunty shit that happens in this movie that I was willing to go, sure. This movie's not particularly concerned with, the laws of physics or anything like that. No, it's the wrong
movie if you're going into...
But the bit that really pulled me out of it is, Donnie Yen and Vin Diesel are running somewhere, and the movie wants us to believe that Vin Diesel would run faster than Donnie Yen, and I was like, nah, come on, I don't think so.
And that's the thing. It's such a vanity film. Like, Vin Diesel wants to be really cool and kick-ass and powerful and always have that.
Look dope.
Look dope. He does look dope.
There's a scene where I imagine it's a reference to one of the other movies where he has that fucking jacket.
Oh, I wanted to talk about that.
Coat that looks like the most wretched fucking disease-ridden piece of shit. And I'm like,
I couldn't get my head around that, and I didn't even think for a second that, that must be from another film, because it's so odd that you just feel like... It's like Mickey Rourke with the parrot in Iron Man 2, where you go, here is an eccentric... egocentric actor that has said, I want to do a scene with this. Because he wears it too long as well.
He does.
Like, if he just wore it in that little scene in London, but the fact that he comes away with it, he's a big guy, and wearing this huge fur coat makes him look like the ghost of Christmas past in the Muppet Christmas Carol.
Oh, there's a scene where he gets in a car with Toni Collette, and his jacket almost covers her fucking face.
He looks like Hagrid from Harry Potter. He's just huge.
And Toni Collette looks at him like, has that thing got fucking fleas? Like, get it away from me.
And the big ruff, the blonde ruff around it, looks like it's made out of Draco Malfoy's pubes. It's
like, it looks dirty. Like, it looks...
It's awful.
It looks like that little bit matted for, like, a coat that you've had for a really long time. Like, it doesn't look really luxurious and nice. It looks fucking rank.
And you feel weird as well when you're watching a movie that is so dumb, but you're not following everything that's going on in it. Like... Why did those women have sex with him when he goes to London?
I don't know. Like, if the other woman just kind of pimped them out and was like, I'm not going to fuck you, but all my friends will fuck you. And I'm like, but why?
And she's like a hacker?
I guess so.
She's like a hacker who we see in a bikini, and apparently she lives like in the next top model house.
Yeah.
And then
she's like, well, I'm not allowed near a computer, but all my friends are.
Yeah, and I'm not going to fuck you, but all my next top model contestant friends are. So it's like... him have it, and then he's like, the things I do for my country, because he has sex with these 6 women. But there's no sex scene.
No.
At all.
Oh.
Because America is terrified. Well, in that instance.
Yes, not in that
because America is terrified of sex. You can have characters, and there's a lot of gun porn in this. You can have characters shooting people, murdering other Americans. And just literally laughing or being gleeful or making jokes about it. But of course,
it explains the success of John Wick, yes.
Yeah, but you can't have... But at least John Wick shows you gun violence. Like, it becomes sickening, like, because it's so grotesque and gory.
Well, I imagine there's a lot of people watching John Wick not thinking that it's
I know, but it's an adult film is the difference that I want to make here, because there's not a drop of blood. For a movie that the heroes murder a huge amount of people, there is not a drop of blood in this film. And you go, but is this... And so they want to sell the sex, the idea of this guy's going to fuck 6 women, but they're not going to show you it. They're just going to show you the before and the after. This guy's going to kill all these people, but there's not going to be any blood around. And then you go, so is this a kid's movie? Because it's not a smart movie. It's got the one fuck in it. Like, all the X-Men movies and things do now. And now there's this Logan movie's going to be an adult because someone says fuck in it. Like, no, well, it's not suddenly going to be a adult movie just because someone said fuck. That's that whole thing with Deadpool that I keep going back to. It's like, no, this isn't for kids, this is grown up. No, it's it's totally for 12, 13-year-old boys. It's perfect for that. And I said to you today, I realised what annoys me about Deadpool, and it's that I think he's like a gamer-gator. He feels like that sort of just arrogant dickhead that's going to do the one-liners, talk about his cock, laugh about shooting someone in the head, and just go like, whoa, what's your problem? Why do we have to be all so PC about everything? Why can't I tell you that you're a fucking fat, stupid, dumb idiot to your face, you know? Why do you have to be so PC about me picking on your race?
Do you want a safe space?
Yeah.
Special snowflake?
Are you triggered, bro? He feels like that guy to me. And that worries me. Yeah, so it's not an adult movie. There's the little sex scene... Sort of at the beginning,
which is so laughable, because to think that beautiful, gorgeous woman actually wants to fuck that guy is like, nah.
Plus, it is shot like the sex scenes in The Room.
Oh yeah.
Like, I wanted that song to be playing. It's sort of candles and slow-mo and no
Rose
flesh or anything. And that's what I don't understand about.
And it's like there's a bit where the camera's really focusing on the neck roll. Little fat roll at the back of his neck and like his sweet neck tattoos and shit. And I'm like, oh, this is so repugnant. Get him away.
And it's like, what does this movie want to be then? Because I can understand that sort of... Not that I'm a fan of it either, but going, well, we're going to make a film that's like Jason Statham in Cranked or whatever. Something where someone's running around and heads are exploding and there's like crazy comical fucking and... or like, you know... what was it? Was it Drive Angry with Nicolas Cage and he's like... fucking those women in the hotel and he's inside the woman and spinning around while blowing people's heads apart. I understand it, like when you get into this almost like sort
surreal,
satirical kind of thing.
Yeah.
And this is that problem I have with even things like, you know, remember when the New 52 came out and people are all bitching about the sex and Catwoman and stuff and they had some European like sexy artist drawing Catwoman. And it's like, but at the same time, there was nothing adult or mature about it because they didn't show anything. They didn't go there. Like, the sex scenes were still really bland and everything was still like, in the same way XXX is. Like, oh, but what? So a kid could look at it? Like, if it's for adults, make it for adults. If it's for kids, make it for kids. But, like, what the fuck is this hybrid thing? It's like, if you want to get a European... sexy artist to do like a porn Catwoman comic and make it about sex and sexuality and then do it, commit to it, put the sex in. Like if it's important that Xander Cage fucks 6 women, and I don't know why it was important in that story at all at that point, then show it. Like, why hide from it? And that's what I don't get, is that obviously there's supposed to be some sort of wish fulfillment kind of power fantasy thing for the audience, but you're not actually giving us anything. You're just referencing, oh, and he did this. So, did he? Like, you know, and you look at those, that wasn't a group of women that had just had sex. Like...
well, they seemed really tired.
Well, they were just like, they weren't... They didn't look tussled or anything.
No, they didn't, no.
And
maybe just one of them did while the rest of them watched or something.
It's like, I'm just here, still in perfect hair makeup, in my
having a quick nap.
Clean white underwear. They hadn't had anything happen. Yeah, there's that weird current through all of it of, like, there's lots of shots of bikini bodies and stuff as well. They go to this island, this sort of underground island, which is full of just young people.
And Donnie Yen.
In Donnie Yen, yeah. So it's like all these underground shady arms people, mercenaries. I don't even know what it is. It just struck me as like a really great place to get AIDS. Like, so they come in and they're looking at these women and going like, yeah, all right, this shifty underground island with all these, like... I've just been watching, like, as I said, a lot of Jersey Shore. There is nothing appealing to that lifestyle to me at all. Like, if anybody's ever thinking, oh, man, like, if I was really, like, lost some weight and got really jacked and was attractive and went in the club and I could pick up some... You don't want any of that. Like, you don't want any of those things that you would...
Well, I mean, obviously Xander was aware of that. That's why he got on the cranberry juice.
Yeah, it's so weird. So, I had moments in this film where... And I was prepared to hate it. I didn't go in wanting to hate it. I wanted to have fun. And I didn't hate it. I had fun. I had enough fun. I was entertained. It wore thin.
It did, yeah. I found like it really ebbed and flowed for me. Like, it sort of started a bit kind of, not weak. I found how seriously Toni Collette was taking her role very funny. I got quite a kick out of that.
She's overacting though.
Yeah, but...
Like, everyone's a cartoon.
Yeah, everyone's just crazy. And then the first kind of Donnie Yen scene is really great.
It is,
like, it's really good, and I thought, oh, fuck yeah.
Great introduction.
We're really kicking off now. And then you kind of go into those, oh, Xander's really, like, sexually desirable, and he's going to, like, leer at some women and, you know, fuck some women, and you're just like, oh, I'm not really enjoying this. Can we get back to Donnie Yen kicking some people in the face?
Plus, Donnie Yen, again, you realise this guy can do these things. Whereas... I'm sure that Vin Diesel, who is, I would imagine, 95% ego, would want to do as many stunts and things as they would allow him.
Yeah.
But the things that look like, you know, a real person would do, like skating down that huge hill and stuff. You're aware of the fact that there's no insurance place that's going to cover Vin Diesel doing that stuff. Especially after, like, fucking losing Paul Walker and all that sort of stuff. They're just not going to do it. So you go, you know, the big third act action stuff is very obvious CGI composite-y kind of stuff. He's not doing anything. And because the movie it's absolutely designed for people with no attention spans. It's so just pumping music, hardly any dialogue, lots of gunfire, lots of action. Just bam, 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 bam the whole time. Unfortunately, Donnie Yen, they're cutting around him quite quickly as well. And part of the joy of Donnie Yen is, like, let him have the frame and give him a minute. See what he can do in a minute, because it's real. And Star Wars, they knew to do that with him. They had those big wide shots of him, like, fucking up all those stormtroopers and stuff, whereas this is just too frenetic. It kind of spoils it, because you're like, I know he's doing all this stuff.
But it almost makes it look like it's fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, especially when it's like, oh, and then we'll cut to, he's running with this guy, but we'll cut to the back of his head or something. It's like, don't fucking do that, because that's what you do when the guy can't do it.
Yeah.
But he's doing it. Let him do it.
He's putting us all to shame.
He is. He's a bloody legend. I got such a man crush on Donnie Yen. And I know there are people, like, this is fucked, because people are now, of course, with Rogue One, myself included, going, oh, I love Donnie Yen. And then there are people who are going, oh, well,
I've liked Donnie Yen for about 20 years.
Yeah, and I've seen all these films and stuff like that, and it's like, yeah, well, the fact that I'm now watching, like, Ip Man and enjoying the shit out of it, isn't that good?
Yeah.
Like, I'm going back and watching the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, like, with any property and any person, whatever, there's always a little sense of kind of gatekeeper, nerd gatekeeper
Plus,
kind of thing.
I'm
but,
40 fucking years old, son. There's a billion things that you don't know about that I've seen. And that's not a judgment.
Like
Dinosaurs. T-Rex. Running around
with
outside my house with little arms.
Yeah.
Christ. I'm fending him off with a broom. Flintstones broom. With a bird on the end that said that it's a living. God, is that our Xander Cage review? What would you give? How many stars would you give it out of 5? Oh. We've never been traditionally like a rating stuff podcast, but since Letterboxd, now we do rate stuff, so let's rate it.
I don't know, like, I feel, as a movie, it's kind of a 2.5, but I feel like I enjoyed it enough for a 3.
I'm not at a 3. I'm at a 2 or a 2.5. Okay. I think 2.5 is that right down the middle. You know, it's not better than average, but it's not worse than average.
Actually, I think I would go 2.5, because I feel like, you know, there were, for everything that I liked in it, the troughs of the stuff that I was getting a bit bored by were a little bit too deep.
And I won't spoil it, but there's a reveal at the end, which if you cannot figure out from the fact that what that character says in the last scene is in the trailer, you are a fucking dummy who is worried about Dom betraying the family. Yeah. Because, and actually, that's the most damning criticism I can give of this movie, is that it has nothing up its sleeve from the trailer. All the money shots you've already seen in the trailer.
Yeah, and you can work out how a lot of the movie takes place from the trailer. Yeah, you've unlocked a lot of shit in that movie.
There's no big set piece that you don't know about, or and the big shots you have seen, really, apart from probably Donnie Yen's entrance. I would say
you've seen a little bit of that, but the extended version is fantastic.
And you've seen half the dialogue already as well, because these characters don't talk much. There we go.
I mean, like, it's not... We wouldn't not recommend it. We wouldn't, like, strongly recommend that you see it at the cinema, perhaps. But, like, you could... Like, there's not a lot out at the moment, and you could do worse.
Oh, just know what you're doing. Like, know what you're getting in for.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Know what you're getting in for. Like,
we knew what this was going to be, and we signed ourselves up for it, and we got what we deserve. So, although I think it'll make a fuckload of money. This time of year, people unironically love the Fast and the Furious movies. There's certainly interesting sort of dynamic by the end for sequels. So, I'm sure it'll do really well. It'll do better than The Last Witch Hunter. And my favourite line of Vin's, and just so perfect in context. I won't spoil what that context is, but him just saying hearing something that's not that complicated and going, like earnestly,
genuinely seriously, yeah.
Like he's all one-liners, but at this point he goes, "Damn, that sounds complicated."
And we both laughed out loud in the cinema.
And I'm thinking, I believe to you it does. I believe you. That's the most sincere, genuine thing you've said. Where I've gone, yeah, that's what this character would say. This character struggling
to comprehend simple concepts.
Somebody has just said more than one sentence to them, and he needs a little time to process.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well done, America. Look, and that's what I wonder is, in Trump's America, will we see more? Like, will films start skewing in that direction?
Well, maybe. They'll have a lot less brown people in them, though. True.
Well, this didn't have that many. They have a lot more Russians.
I did. There were a lot of Russians, and they were very racist about naming them.
Yeah. Considering they didn't call out...
They called them all fucking Ivan and Sergei and shit.
Yeah, considering no one's cultural background was called out at all in a very diverse cast, which I love. There's no, like, making jokes about it. It's not like watching, it's the fucking movie with, like, Jackie Chan or someone teamed up with...
Not Chris Rock.
Yeah.
Oh, like, Rush Hour?
Yeah, and they're just, like, the whole time...
Chinese jokes,
yeah. So there's nothing like that, but once those Russians come in...
They're very Russian racist.
No holds barred. Crikey. Okay, I just want to talk really briefly. We've sort of done an hour already, but about Edge of 17. I'm not going to go into it too much because you haven't seen it yet.
And I'm not pissy that you saw it, but I'm like, damn it, I really wish that I'd seen it too.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I really loved it. I didn't realise, actually, this is me just not looking into it, I was expecting more of a drama. And it's certainly got dramatic elements. It's very much a coming-of-age story. It's comedic. Woody Harrelson's great. And Haley Steinfeld is just fucking fantastic. I love that character. And that was a big part of me really loving this movie. It kind of felt to me like after I'd seen Ghost World or something where I was just like, oh, I love this complicated, fucked up but lovable... character who is really trying to make sense of the world. And then you've got Woody Harrelson as a teacher, and I just, really, really enjoyed it. I think it could have been pretty close to being in my top 10 if I'd seen it last year when it was actually released, but we only just got it last week here, and I got to see it a couple of days after release, and really, really enjoyed it. And I love that character so much that I kind of felt betrayed when I realised that Haley Steinfeld does all this, like, sort of bland pop music as well.
I like her music. I do.
I haven't really heard
She's
much.
Got a single on the radio at the moment that I really quite like.
But she's so talented. Like, I remember, because obviously she was Oscar nominated for True Grit.
Yeah.
And then...
when she was about 4.
She was really great in Ender's Game. And then to see this, it was like, wow, you're the real deal. But yeah, I love that character, Nadine, and everything that she sort of goes through. It's one of those things where you kind of, you want to believe like that person is that character by the end of it. Where you... Yeah, I think because that character is sort of this sort of complex, interesting, non-mainstream, I don't, misfit, how do I navigate this world and all these douchebag people that I'm smarter than, and I don't like the same things that they like, and I'm going to sort of end up being interested in the sort of quirky Asian boy who makes films and stuff instead of the cool guy, and then you go and watch a film clip and she's with this like ridiculously good looking douche guy and you're like, you're not that person, you lied to me. But
it's almost like these people are acting.
She's 21 as well.
Yes.
And when I was 21, that's what, like, Jersey Shore and stuff, you can judge all those people, same with Geordie Shore or whatever, but bottom line, it comes down to you're drunk and you're 21. Like, and you begin to go, oh, I remember. In fact, it made me feel good because I know there are things that I've done when I've been drunk, things I've said to people where I've gone, oh, what a fucking asshole I was. Like, I regret that so much. I'm, like, such a prick for doing that. I wish I hadn't done that. Like, I've got a drinking problem. I should never have done that. And then you watch these things and go, they do that every day. And they go through that, and I'm apologising and everything. But it's just, like, a growing up thing. And you see it in the show as well because... like, Geordie Shore kept replacing the people, and they replaced them because someone would be like, yeah, I'm like 28 now, and I've got a girlfriend that I really care about, and I don't want to do. I'm not going to drink with you. Like, I'm not doing this anymore. And they sort of grow out of it and get replaced. But yeah, really interesting. I almost feel like all young men should watch it, because your initial reaction is like this. I can imagine some of them would be like, oh, great, yeah, let's drink it up and party and emulate these people and have sex with all these women and do that. But then you watch it and you go, well, these people are really miserable. Like, any joy they have, and when they do actually hook up with someone, they're always so fucking drunk, and it's someone awful. It's someone they don't care about, to the point where they won't even talk to them or push them into a taxi or something afterwards, in which case you think you're not interested in women, you're interested in holes. And it's always like some brief disappointing thing anyway. Then it'll be like a week or 2 weeks of just feeling absolutely fucking miserable and lonely, or fighting, or all those people that I'm in a relationship and I wish I was like sleeping around instead, so I'm going to ditch her and meet up with someone else, and then all my problems will be solved. And oh no, that's actually created a lot of drama, and now we're all crying and yelling at each other all the time. And you just go, you realise like how much the deck is stacked against you, and that's why people live in the suburbs with their kids and sort of grow out of that and have jobs and don't do that all their lives, because you can't win it. Like, it's just miserable.
Yeah, I definitely knew a person who was a lot like that, and then they hung around in that sort of thing where all of us and all our other friends grew out of it, and it was just sort of like, oh, a bit sad.
Yeah, you can't do it. And then you also realise that, you know, you can be the most, like, good-looking, muscular dude in the club.
But if you're mentally a baby, no one fucking wants you.
And the other thing is, your life's not going to be any better, because if that's what you're doing, like going, oh, I want strangers to be attracted to me, and I'm going to go to the club and be like, you realise, well, fuck, like the sort of people that you were going to pick up. And also everyone's drunk anyway. And all these people, you know, and everybody's made up and looking their best. Like, these people aren't, especially in these shows where they're all so fake, they're not going to look like that in the morning. You just go, wow, like, I'm better off being this chubby dude and just let people like me for, you know, find my mind. Because if they're not interested in that, then, like, they're not the person anyway. I thought it was interesting. Just one tiny side story. And I'm so late to the Geordie Shore, Donnie Yen party. He's not in Geordie Shore? Jersey Shore. I'm going to talk about Jersey Shore. But, like, there's this woman who they call the stalker in the last couple of seasons, who's always looking at Paulie D.
Okay.
And she's got this cap on that says Paulie D, and these guys sell clothes, literally sell clothes from the boardwalk anyway. So it's not creepy that she would have clothes that say this stuff. And she stands there and she watches them all day. And it's like, oh, this stalker, you know, she's crazy, and they ridicule her all the time and tell her she's creepy and to go away and all this sort of stuff. And there's this point where you go, you're a TV show.
You made this.
She's watching TV. Like, I don't think she's that bright either. And she's, like, seems totally surprised. It's like, you are a TV show. You're a spectacle. You've got cameras there. She comes down and watches the TV show. She's just not watching it
at home.
She's watching it as it's being filmed.
Yeah.
So she's not really a like, and you realise just how fucking false everything is. And it's just crazy. That just struck me, because I was like, no, dude, you're a TV personality filming a TV show. She's watching TV. If they were making a Batman movie on the boardwalk, there would be people standing around watching Batman. Yeah. So
you should be thankful that at least one person is interested enough to come and look at you.
They might be wearing Batman shirts. You know?
Maybe.
So there you go. Holy shit. After that bit of insight, I'm spent.
Spent like $1.
Yeah. We probably got about $1 worth in there today.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, well, thanks for listening, everybody. You can always rate reviewers on iTunes, and somebody did. I don't have it in front to read out, and it's so lovely that it would be a bit self-serving to read out, but I didn't realise somebody had actually rated and reviewed us on iTunes in October. So thank you so much for doing that, and it was a really awesome thing that you said. It was one of those things that made me go, yeah, that kind of...
Maybe we're not wasting our time doing this show. It was a wonderful review. We were absolutely stoked.
It was podcast fuel. Where you just go, oh yeah, this is worth continue. It doesn't take much. Just that odd thing every now and then when somebody reaches out and goes, hey, this is really cool. I like what you're doing. You go, oh, great. Well, we'll keep doing it. So thank you very much for that. You can find links to the iTunes to our Facebook discussion group and our page and all that sort of shit. Everything is on fruitlesspursuits.com. Very easy. Go there and look at the entry for any episode, and at the end there will be a link to all the relevant things, and you can go there. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know what we've got next week. Doesn't matter. We'll find something.
Monster trucks. No, it won't be monster trucks.
Oh, don't do that to me.
I do believe we have something. Hang on. Can we find out?
Maybe Split. Maybe Split.
Maybe Split?
Yeah.
Maybe Moonlight? Maybe
both. I feel like Moonlight might be a little bit heavy as a show lead as well.
Yeah. There'll be stuff.
There will be stuff. We'll find some stuff for you.
And if any other actor signs up to play a piece of shit,
we will let you know.
Well, I can't talk anymore.
Yeah.
So
and bloody Bingo Baby news, nothing. I've been keeping up with it, but
they're not gonna tell the press. If New Idea can't weasel it out of them, what hope has anybody
Maybe
got?
they were waiting for Australia Day. That's a couple of weeks away.
Look, that would make my Australia Day.
Yep.
Perfect. Isn't it Thursday?
Oh, actually, yeah. Fuck, it is really close.
Couple of days away.
Couple of days away.
Yeah.
Couple of days.
Alrighty.
All right.
Stuff.
Camera.